Good morning. Hello, mamas, and happy weekend. So, moms, when you jump on, I'm pretty sure most of you are going to be expecting moms because that's what I had posted about. Let me know how far along you are and when you're due. So I want to celebrate with you guys. Congrats for all of you who are expecting. So excited for you. That's such an exciting and wonderful time. I miss being pregnant, believe it or not. So special. So I know you're planning, you're thinking ahead, you're thinking about your birth. You have a birth plan or a birth guide that you're thinking about, right? All these different things. You're preparing the nursery. There's so much to think about when you're pregnant. I mean, it's like your mind is spinning. For me, I was like constantly Googling things and reading as much as I could and listening to podcasts and like trying to prepare for this birth. I prepared so much for the birth that I didn't even think about postpartum. Like, I didn't think at all. At first, I mean, a little bit I thought, like, what's it going to be like to have a baby? And what's the first night going to be like? But I never thought about what I would feel like, what I would be going through, or anything like that. Lesson learned. So today I want to share with you guys the 5 things I wish I had known about postpartum before being in it, before like drowning in it, okay? Because that's where I was at the time. I didn't prepare for it. So I want you mamas to think a little bit about it and to get a little bit prepared. I hope these 5 tips are helpful today. And moms, these tips are not sexy. They're not fancy. They're not cute. And what I mean by that is like, they're going to be real. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say like, oh my gosh, it's going to be just butterflies and rainbows. No, I'm going to be real with you guys. I have something in my eye. Sorry. Always a problem. Do you see this thing? What the heck? Okay. No, but this is going to be, sorry. This is going to be real life because that's how I am. I am like straightforward in real life with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And it's not to scare you. These aren't scary things. They're just realistic things that you can expect. So when you're in postpartum, you feel a little bit more prepared. Now, if these tips are helpful to you guys, I'm going to post a link to my Empowered Mamas email list. I send out weekly emails with tips and guides. I just sent out a bunch of my favorite recipes for moms, recipes that I use that are super helpful and quick and easy for me. So I send out tips and resources and guides like this weekly to help you guys and help mamas along on their journey. So I will be sure to post the link once I'm done with this live video. It'll be right underneath the headline of this live video. So stay tuned for that. If you find these tips helpful, you're going to want to get on that list. Okay, let's dive in. And like I said, men, anyone else who's maybe not pregnant, it's probably not the video for you because we're going to talk about some things that you're probably not going to want to hear about, okay? Because like I said, we're going to be real and raw and it's not going to be all fancy and pretty. Okay, number 1. The number 1 thing I wish I had known or prepared a little more for before postpartum was how beneficial it was going to be to have some kind of meal service or meal plan or like a meal train. A lot of people set up meal trains. And what that means is like there's a list of people who sign up to bring you meals when you're right after you have birth, right? So they're set up so they're going to bring by different meals for you. And there's different services I think you can use to do this. We didn't do a meal train personally, but lots of mamas do. And like I said, it mainly just means that people are signing up to bring you meals so you don't have to worry about cooking. That is the last thing you're going to want to do. You're not even going to be able to physically cook. Like you're going to want to be resting and in bed with baby. You're not going to get up and make food. And your hubby is going to be like right there, or your spouse, your partner is going to be right there with you to tend to you. So you're not going to want to worry about making meals. So I highly recommend setting up a meal train with friends and family. Or what we did was I had some pretty specific dietary restrictions that I knew. I was nervous to do a meal train because I would hate for someone to prepare a meal for me that I couldn't eat, and then it wasted their time, wasted their money, and then I couldn't eat it. So what we did was I talked to my family ahead of time. And of course, my family was asking like, what can we do to help? What can we do to help? And we're like, food, help us with food. So I found these paleo freezer meals on Pinterest. Okay, it was a huge list of like 31 meals that you could freeze ahead of time. So I sent that link to my mom and I was like, Mom, can you prep these freezer meals? And she did that for us. She prepped all of these healthy, now, guys, I don't follow a strict paleo meal plan, but what paleo means to me is that it's real nutritious food. So she prepped these paleo meals in freezer bags and was able to bring them to us, and we could just pop them in the crock pot every night. My husband did that. He popped them in the crock pot in the mornings. The dinner was ready at night, and we had this really hearty, nutritious food at the end of the day to eat. Another thing we did was my in-laws set up a paleo delivery service for us, which was a game changer. There's so many meal plan services. They are a little more expensive, so that's why a meal train might be a better option for you if you find that you can't afford a meal service. But they set up a paleo meal service for us, which was amazing. They delivered just a huge batch of breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals that were pre-made. All we had to do is heat them up. So amazing. And there's lots of different services out there. They don't have to be paleo, but I highly recommend looking into some kind of meal plan, whether it's a meal train or meal service delivery or having meals prepped ahead of time. You could even prep your own freezer crock pot meals and put them in your own freezer, while you're pregnant. If I had thought of that ahead of time, I would have prepped 30 meals, I swear. I wish I had known that before. But having that little bit of time to prep meals so you are set up for postpartum is so helpful, especially those first couple weeks. That's when you're going to really want food to be prepped for you. Okay, number 2. This one's not pretty, I warned you. Number 2, I wish I had known that I would have wanted more diapers and pads and things like that. I ordered, I knew I would bleed after giving birth. Even if you have a C-section, you guys, you're going to bleed. It's not like a painful bleed. I don't want you to think it's in that sense, but you're going to just bleed a lot. It's the lining, everything's shedding. It's normal, and it's a lot of blood. So that's not to scare you, but that's just to let you know that it's normal. There are certain levels of blood that if you're bleeding too much aren't normal. So make sure you talk to your doctor or your midwife or whoever you're working with to make sure that you have that it's normal. But every mama is going to bleed. I had purchased these little thin dainty pads, these are cute, I'll just wear pads after I give birth. Guys, I needed the XXXL pads. I needed double pads, diaper pads. Okay, I needed things that thick. That's how much blood that was going to shed after I gave birth. I didn't know that. So get yourself some super XXL pads, with the wings, with the flaps, with everything that's gonna wrap up and protect everything, okay? Diapers even. I had purchased some adult diapers ahead of time, and I am so glad I did, because when my water broke, I put a diaper on, and that was a lifesaver. So having more diapers postpartum would have been really helpful, because everything is just, there's a lot of fluids and blood, and it's just a mess down there for a little while, guys, just warning you. So that would have been helpful. Okay, the third thing I wish I had known before postpartum. I'm actually wearing it right now because I want to model it for you. I purchased this nursing gown before postpartum, and I'm so glad I did, and it was a lifesaver for me, okay? So I'm going to show it to you because I'm wearing it because I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so it's just like a little nightgown, but the cool thing is I'm wearing a tank top. It opens up here so you can nurse easily, okay? And it's flowy and it's baggy, and I didn't wear anything. I lost my ball. I didn't wear anything underneath it other than my diapers and pads and things like that. But I was able to nurse easily. It was comfortable. The last thing you're going to want after giving birth is wearing tight clothes. That's the last thing you're going to want. You're not going to want to wear tank tops. You're not going to want to wear your leggings. For me, I wanted something flowy and airy. I wanted something I could nurse easily. I brought this to the hospital with me, and I had that with me. I wore it while I was in labor, and then I literally wore it for probably 2 months. After 2 months postpartum, I wore this thing daily. I wish I had purchased 4 of them or 5 of them, one for every day of the week, and different colors, okay? So the name of this nursing gown is Savi, S-A-V-I, Savvy Mom Nursing Nightgown. You can look it up on Amazon. It's less than $30, so it's not this like, $200 thing. It's so freaking comfortable. I highly, highly, highly recommend you get one. Even if you don't end up breastfeeding for very long, no judgment there. This is going to be just so comfy and helpful for you to have. Now, the other thing that goes along with this, granny panties. Buy yourself granny panties. I know you're like, no. Guys, you're not, like I said, you're not going to want to wear your cute little thongs, your cute little tight undies, cute little panties. No. You're not going to want those. They're going to be so uncomfortable. You're going to want to be like airing it out and just things that are loose and not tight fitting. So I didn't get any granny panties, okay? It was like day 2 or day 3 postpartum, and I was like, Mom, I need you to go to Target. I need you to buy me granny panties. I need you to get them like 2 sizes too big. So get 2 sizes too big of granny panties. Nothing fancy, like you can get like Hanes, like whatever brand is cheap and big and comfy. Those were a lifesaver. Like I could not wear tight underwear. So get yourself some granny panties. Okay, number 4, I wish I had known what an emotional mess I was going to be. Emotional mess. I talk about this a lot in my upcoming course for mamas, especially to really help you guys understand, like, the emotions are real, the hormones are real, like everything that happens to you after you give birth, it messes with your hormones, and your emotions are going to be like a roller coaster. You're going to find yourself crying when you're so happy and so in love with your baby. But you might find that you got a little bit of the baby blues, and postpartum depression is something that happens to so many mamas. I experienced it, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to not want to talk about or not want to share about. It's okay. It's something that a lot of us mamas go through, and it's okay. You are not alone. So I wish I had known that to know that it was normal, to know that I could speak up more about it, to know that I didn't have to feel bad and feel mom guilt. I felt a lot of guilt because I was emotional. I thought like people are going to think I don't love my baby, and people are going to think that I'm not happy. No. I was so madly in love, but I was struggling emotionally because my hormones were just jacked. My birth experience was not what I expected, so I really struggled emotionally, and I want you guys to know that it's okay. If you're pregnant right now, find yourself a support system. Find yourself, maybe there's a close friend that you know that you can go to and you can talk to without feeling judged. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your mother-in-law, maybe you have a doula or a midwife or somebody. Have somebody that you can talk to and just be 100% open and honest with and share when you just feel like a mess. And know that if you're going to cry, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel all the feels. I always say that. Feel the feels, mama. Okay, number 5. Kind of set on that same topic. I wish I had known that I wasn't alone. Okay, when I started going through that emotional hot mess, I felt like I was alone. I felt like I was the only mom who ever felt like that. I felt like I was the only mom struggling. And I wish I had known that that wasn't the case. I wish I had set up a support system ahead of time, and that's why I'm building this online course for you mamas, so you're not alone anymore. This can be your support system, but I wish I had set up some kind of support system, some kind of group, or something that would have helped me emotionally, because I really struggled with feeling like I was so alone. So getting that, like I said, a friend or a family member, a midwife, a doula, even your spouse or someone, having that conversation beforehand, before you give birth and you're in the thick of it, knowing that you can go to someone and vent to them and talk to them, even finding another mom who's around the same time as you, talking to another mama sometimes is like so... It just feels so good because you know you're not alone. You know that mom's been through it. If that mom is me, you guys, I want you to know, if you're watching this right now and you need someone to talk to, you can come to me. You can message me, send me a private message, send me a text, email, whatever it might be. I am here to support you and to help you and to let you know that you're not alone. You are not alone. So always know that there are other mamas out there. No matter what you see on social media, no matter how perfect everybody else looks out there, other mamas are out there, and we're struggling. We're doing the best we can. We're figuring this all out as we go. You're not alone. Okay, guys, so those are the 5 things, and I hope they're helpful. Again, if you find these tips helpful, be sure to use the link that I'm going to post below the headline of this live video. That way you can get signed up to be part of the Empowered Mamas online email list, so you find out all the details that I'm sharing, get all the updates and the weekly tips and resources that I'm always sharing to help you guys as mamas. So I hope it's helpful. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon.